Hello, everybody. Welcome to, what is this, episode
Five?
5? Is it really?
I think so. Something like that.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Episode 4, episode 5. One of those two. Um, I hope everyone had a very good week, enjoying the long weekend. If you are an American resident, I believe. President's
Super
Day
Bowl, right?
today.
But Super Bowl was last Sunday,
Are you doing okay? Uh,
right?
it is the fifth episode though. You got that right. But yes, the
Okay, I
Super
was
Bowl
fucking
was last
cooking,
week. It
bro.
was the NBA All Star Weekend this weekend, and I think the Daytona 500 was this weekend. I don't know sports.
Motherfucker said Daytona 500,
Well, I don't know.
huh?
They advertised it during the Super Bowl, so
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. I'm sure we have some people who watch this who watch NASCAR. Um,
Surely.
Someone's got to, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be televised. That's how that works. Do you just kind of
Mhm.
want to talk about? I don't know. Fill time. I gotta log games because
Yeah,
yeah.
I got you. Hold on. There were a couple interesting games. Actually, I think both of the Rift Strike series, really fun watches. I think I casted both of them.
That sounds
Uh,
right.
They were both, oh my gosh, 3 game bangers, both of them. Arguably, I think the one in both games, I think the team opposite of Rift Sharks just kind of threw for content. I will not lie. And one of them, I think Spectres had like a 12k gold lead and just started fucking around for zero reason. I think Avery's R button got unbound like midway through the game. New York Nutbusters, draft Leeson, classic ego jungler moment. I have done it myself multiple times, so I too ego jungler moment. But like, um, I think there's like a lot to talk about. I think a lot of the variants of the roster that Rift Strikes ran were pretty good. There was I think it was with Zach Mid, where they took a game off Nutbusters. That one was really good. The Ziggs
Yes.
performance really shined quite a bit in that. There was the
Oh, if you give me context on which game you're talking about, I can tell you what happened.
I was just trying to remember.
Oh,
Dean's
okay.
Callista in the first game of the Spectres one always kind of cracked. Nice to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think much really changed with Nutbusters. Still drafting really similar stuff. Had a Kha'Zix game. They claim Kha'Zix is bad in team setting. Kind of agree, but I think the way Mike played it was super impactful, so I like that out of them.
Yeah,
There
it
was
was
also
hella
the
irritating to deal with.
yeah, it was
Feel
just like
like
the R evolved ultra stealth be annoying type
yeah,
thing,
I mean
which
like
is
we're
very good.
like we have an even or losing team fight on one side and then Kha'Zix comes and just bursts everyone who's still alive. So that was incredibly unfun to deal with, to say the least.
Yeah. And then what was the Meta Busters game?
I don't know. I watched most of the first one, or at least I had it on. I know it looked like they drafted Meta, and then I think they lane swapped Xerath and Caitlyn. So Silica to play the Caitlyn mid. I believe he, as per
He did
usual,
perform
performed
as
really
usual.
well, and then like the rest of his team just kind of falls apart. I
Yeah.
think I literally turned on the game, watched a top lane fight. I think Nami flashed and then like W Q'd and like hit both of them, and it just didn't even remotely do enough damage to get the kill. And then 3 members of Metabusters died, and then I stopped watching because it kind of hurt. But
That's crazy.
shit happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It looked pretty even up until that point, which was kind of good though. I feel like as long as you're not
Mhm.
like super bleeding out early game, that's definitely like an improvement from
Oh, it
what it
was
was
versus
before.
Andromeda, right?
Holy
Oh, Adam
shit!
had the
Cam went 9-1 and 24 that game. Jesus Christ.
I still gave it to Adam. He was like astro gapping Hidiri in the top lane. It was like kind of
Yeah, I
gross to
mean,
watch.
for what it's
IMO.
worth, like auction into GP is like turbo free, so I think
Yeah,
that's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
reasonable
There was that, and then they ran
matchup.
back the. Adam took the GP side of the matchup and played it versus Aatrox, which I don't know who is favored in that lane, but
Aatrox is a very good matchup. It's a
for
GP.
GP or
No,
for
like Aatrox
uh
should win that.
yeah, and then he just like hard slammed it. So I think it was like a really well played series from Adam. I think I gave him MVP in both games. So
Yeah,
wait, did I cast all 3 games this week?
that would be really
That
funny.
was all right.
I thought Taxi solo casted the first one.
The first one?
The one, Rift Sharks versus Spectres.
Oh, right, because I was doing coaching
You're
things. I
trying to
was there,
take
though.
credit for a game that you didn't even cast.
Bro, I forget, okay? I'm
That's
old. Leave me alone, man.
23 kills on game. Oh, what the fuck, man? Like,
That's what I'm saying, bro. He was astronomically performing. I think Cam had a good game one.
Christ.
I think the rest of the Andromeda played their roles pretty well, so. But yeah, definitely. I don't
Wait,
know.
no way they played Alistar mid.
Yeah, they
That's a
definitely did
meta
a little
busting,
egoing,
baby.
bro.
Let's go.
I do think Alistar mid does have some legs. His AP ratio got buffed like 10 bajillion
Right,
times.
no, no,
Champion does a lot of
I
damage,
see where
but
it's coming from. I just think it's goofy as to pull it out. I mean, like, I fully support like playing meta busting picks into the meta busters. I think that shit is hilarious.
mhm.
But
Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun week.
ooh, can play
Oh
Kindred. That's fun. I support
yeah,
that.
definitely did not have the impact that I would want on a Kindred pick though. But that's a different conversation. TM.
I mean, we can have it if you want.
True. I think I was arguing that Olaf would have probably been a better pick. They did win the game, so like it's kind of null to talk about it. But
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
think,
Is Olaf Jungle
yeah,
good or?
I think Olaf Jungle with the comp that they had, they were running like Seraphine and I don't even remember what the other one was.
Wait,
Seraphine and some like low
wait, they
damage.
legit drafted a real team comp. I didn't even realize in the second game. That's crazy.
Wait, they drafted a real comp in both games. Honestly, outside of like Caitlyn
No,
mid,
no, no.
like
But like Caitlyn mid is like enough off meta to like to still count. I
yeah, but like
think.
realistically, like I don't think Caitlyn mid is bad there, and also like you could just easily flex the Xerath mid, and then it's just a normal comp, right?
Right,
Like
I mean, I agree. I think the comp is probably fine still, but I like they at least had some funky picks. And this last game, this is just like straight up like fine. Like there's nothing even like
yeah,
questionable
there's
with this.
nothing like egregious
And
on the
like
side of
amazingly
meta-wise.
enough, they were within 7 kills. Like,
Yeah,
whoa, you
I
actually
think this
do
team.
well when you pick real champions.
Yeah,
There's no
I
way.
think I think realistically, if Meta Busters does want to shift out of meta busting and switch to meta abusing, like they changed their name to supposedly, I think they realistically could do it. And if they can improve in time, like maybe they can scrape a couple wins, take a team out of contention for playoffs. But who really knows, to be
Yeah, that
honest?
could be interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, Silica, I literally don't think has had a bad game all season.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he is astronomically performing
yeah,
in
I'm
all
gonna
of
do
these
a
series.
little double check on that, just so I don't like eat my own shoe here. But
No, he performed in both games.
he
I'm pretty sure.
is 0-8, but his score lines are 11-7, 8-7, 7-6, 4-4, 9-6, 20-6, 13-10, and 8-3. Okay, the Karthus game. We'll give him a
Okay, that
little.
one doesn't count. That one doesn't
that
count.
was
That
not
one
great.
doesn't count. Yeah,
Could
but
have
like.
done better in that game. Oh my. Okay, that one was like what? The total score was like 5 to like
Yeah.
40. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was just not a good game. I do think putting Jacob on support with the Nami pick wasn't too bad. It didn't do terrible in lane. It paired decently with the Xerath, I think, because you get the bubbles, and then they got like a couple of good one-shot plays off in the middle of the game, like just the Xerath ulti slam dunking the fucking Lux and just killing them from Narnia. Kind of funny, but that's really it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Nami and Samira as a combo though. Obviously, like you can get stuff done, but I feel like your CC isn't reliable enough to really
Yeah,
facilitate the
agreed. I
Samira
mean,
as you'd want to. I do love Silas into Alistar. I realize that they probably didn't expect it to be mid lane
oh, Hoden
Alistar when they
almost
locked
carried the
it in.
game. Okay, hold on.
Right. I mean,
I do have
you,
to
you
give Hoden
give you
props. He
give
played a
Silas an
really good
Alistar
silence
ulti,
play
and he's
game.
chilling. Like
Yeah, he
GP.
also like
Wait, and he ult's useless on him, right?
yeah,
Like
but
you
he
get a
had the
Tibbers, but
he had the
yeah.
Seraphine ult too, right?
Right. No, no. I mean, I'm just saying like it's not.
It's not hard to
He
perform
can't
on Silas
stun.
there.
No, I'm just saying like he can't stun with the any else because otherwise
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
would be ludicrous.
Oh, that was the last pick. I think like you have a Annie who can like speed up an Olaf just to like segue back into like the Olaf thing. Like you have a lot of tools to enable an Olaf pick here, and I just want Cam to pick Olaf. Please, bro. I'm begging you. That champion is Exodia in that spot, bro.
Real. What was the? Didn't like Adam like just pick Olaf and then go like 0-3? and like eliminate his team, and then like LS posted some video about how he like single handedly like inted his entire team for like
Oh
no
right, I
reason.
saw that. I saw
That
that
was so
video,
funny.
dude.
And then
I don't
like
know.
everyone's just like, oh yeah, actually everyone else on their team also did nothing, and like the only reason he didn't perform is because they put like everyone to just focus him down in the top lane. But
I don't watch it. I
I
need,
don't know.
dude.
I
I
forget.
saw some.
I forget who posted the video, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, he did. Uh, I have not watched any LEC or LCS. I just have not given a single
LCS is
fuck.
actually
Yeah,
really good. The new LEC
yeah,
format's
that's what I've
cool,
heard.
but like I don't know. I just
I
can't
will
get
say
into it as
though,
much.
couple of game. I saw a couple of Malrung's builds today. That's my go. That's all I'm
It's
saying, bro.
crazy.
Like, this man is like, someone needs to get him out of the kitchen. Like that. Stop cooking, bro. You ain't that guy. You're not Gordon Ramsay. Stop cooking, bro. It's
He's
not
not
it.
like SOFM Part 2, no?
Yeah, but like SOFM was griefing half the time. Like,
What
I
do you
don't know,
mean? I
man.
think Full Tank Leeson with Night's Vow is very good.
I mean, I okay. I think that was actually not a bad build because of like
Well, I mean,
how
he would
good
just
Night's
build
Vow
that
was
on
as
every
a build.
champion. Like that
That's
that
true.
was his thing.
I don't know, man.
Okay, that for content, and then did you see the Bunny Foo Foo thing?
Oh yeah, I saw the Buddy Foo Foo thing, dude. I was screaming. That's just so funny, bro.
Okay, I'm not elaborating on that, but if you want to look it up, you can. It's pretty easy to figure out what the hell this man is doing, or just go to
Oh,
his
dude,
YouTube channel.
it's kind of based though. If you're making money off that, props to you, bro.
I
Shout
mean,
outs to
I
you,
think
man.
at the video, like because he didn't post for a year, right? And then the first video of it is like, I lost a bet. So I think that's what it is, but um,
That's
I,
funny.
I didn't watch it to find out, but
You didn't watch it? What are you scared of, man? Come on.
I might watch the explanation just to figure out what the hell's going on. Because, like, I checked his, like, TFT channel, and that's, like, still normal. I don't know.
He's just lost a bet, so he has to do this for League of Legends content. That's so based.
That's really funny. Okay. But yes, I think here we'll talk about Nutbusters real quick. All right.
Oh, must we talk about Nutbusters more, bro?
Okay. I
I'm kidding. I'm
surely
kidding.
they are
Kidding.
3-0. On top of the league here. Spectres is, I believe, in second. For the time being, we actually have a clean 1 through 6 order. Just because not all teams have played 4 games yet, because MVP did have to take a break week this week. So we have Nutbusters on top, Spectres is in second, Valor and Pirates is in third, Andromeda is in fourth, Rift Sharks in fifth, and Metabusters in sixth. So I feel like the Nutbusters series against Spectres was pretty dominant. They won 2-0. Neither game was particularly close. So I think it is pretty fair to say, at least throughout the first round robin, they've locked a pretty solid first.
Yeah.
Technically, if they do lose both these games, and Spectres wins their remaining game, or Valor and Pirates wins both of theirs, or like there are combinations where they won't end up on top. We still haven't seen them play Andromeda, who's been a little inconsistent, I think, but definitely has.
Yeah.
Like they could win against
Yeah,
them,
I
and I
agree.
wouldn't. I definitely don't think that's like out of the question.
Hmm.
But just like looking at how matches have played out, we haven't had like I don't know how to like refer it besides like circle of suck moments, but like we don't have any like matchups where like one team has beaten a team who's beaten a team who's beaten that like original team. It's literally just every team in the standings right now. If a team is below them, they've beaten them every time they've played them, and if a team is
Yeah.
above them, they've lost them every time they've played them. And there's like
Yeah.
no flips going on there, which I think is kind of interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
how long that's gonna last. It's kind of interesting though, because like it just seems like each team is just like better, like outright than the teams below them.
So you think this is an accurate ranking for the standings,
Uh,
actually?
well, for now, yeah. I mean, I think things can
Uh,
obviously change throughout the season, but Nutbusters
yeah.
3-0, and like I mean, I was talking to PB, and he said that our series against them was the toughest one they've had so far.
Okay.
Maybe I should have called out his name for what I'm saying. I could have just mentioned someone. But he said the
Damn, bro,
reasoning.
that's
He
crazy.
said the reason that we were better than the other two teams they played, Metabusters and Spectres, was that, and I quote, "bot lane wasn't free." So,
That's so fair.
Hog
That's so fair.
Rex,
That's so
I
base.
apologize, but
Wait, wait, hold on.
the
To be fair,
ratio.
Spectre, when they played versus Spectres, it was Hong bot lane both times.
Oh, okay.
In
Rex is
defense of
fine.
Rex,
Rex is covered.
I'll hold ground for Rex real quick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Hog, I'll throw that man under the bus. I don't care. But I think we also didn't run the Logan Hong bot lane that we've been running recently. So like,
right.
I also think that's pretty fair. But
Yeah.
like, damn, PV just got fucking dragged. That's
Wait, I'm
crazy.
not dragging PV.
Well, you leaked the DMs, bro. That's crazy.
So
I would never.
that's
Man
heat.
of integrity.
Okay, I'm not. I'm just saying this is the same man who posts the fucking like Grim Reaper images every time. I feel like he would endorse me starting drama with things he said. I don't know.
That's
And
true. You
like,
know what? That's
I'm
based.
just saying it to gas up myself. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all
Of
scrims
course.
ADC candidate potential trust votes.
True,
Yes, thank
true.
you.
That could be
I get
true.
the repeat even if we are not at the top of the standings. Whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think makes Nutbuster so good? I know we've mentioned before that it could just be a synergy thing, and that might change going into it. But do you think something besides that is keeping them above the rest of the pack?
Um, honestly, I don't think so. I've watched the games. They are like solid individually, like in terms of like skill. But if you watch the games, it is very much them working together that is netting them wins, not individual performances. Honestly, like, uh, if you watch like the first game with the Kazakhs, you can see Taxi is like constantly setting up Mike for like really solid ganks. They're just like the way they're setting up all their plays is like super well coordinated. I don't think any of them are like individually better than like all the players in the league.
Hmm.
Or like, yeah, it's just like the way that they've come together as a team is like a lot more noticeable. Like, I think all of them have had individual carry performances outside of maybe Alex, but I think that's just because ADC has like
I
a
mean,
little
he's
bit of
had
a
some
harder
crazy
time
Caitlyn
having.
games.
Has he? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
I
think
think all of them
that's
have
still
had
been like
really good
PV setting him up a
performances.
lot more than uh
Uh, I
individual
think some of the
ADC
games where he did
performance.
well, he gets like one gank early and then just dominates for the rest of the
Yeah,
game.
it could be. I don't know. I just whenever okay, no offense to Alex, but whenever I see bot lanes popping off, it's typically like the support leading the role, not so much the other way around. There are a few exceptions to this rule, but like for the most part, I think most of the supports have been playing like a lot better than their ADC counterparts. With like one or two exceptions, honestly.
Real
So
Hong support OP, best player on that team.
agreed. Oh God. Anyways, um, but like we saw with like Erica playing like the Blitzcrank and stuff, like I think like a lot of these supports have had like super great games in terms of like impact and stuff. But like going back to Nutbusters, I think Mike has had like really solid games and like I don't think he's gotten a single MVP, but like he is like very quietly like a very solid player for their jungle. He's been playing like super consistent stuff. So it's just been like really really good performance from him overall. And like they're setting up their drafts like a lot for success. Like the Azir blind pick, I really liked a lot actually in like both of their series or like in their first game versus Rift Sharks. I think Rift Sharks had a really good adaptation with the Ziggs response, but I think the idea of the Azir blind pick was like really good. So and stuff like that. It's just like they're using the little advantages that they have in terms of like champion pool and stuff that other teams don't have, and I think that's what's netting them most of their wins. So like
Yeah.
you see Blake using his really unique champion pool with like the Swain pick in game 3, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just like draft. Like that was just like super intelligent to pick it up there, and I feel like a lot of teams
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily look to do that. Or
Mhm.
like, I think there are teams that would play Swain top if it was in like their normal picks, like
Mhm.
or like something like Meta Busters where you're just like looking to play some goofy shit. But I do
Clowning
think
around.
Right. I think there are like very few players in the league that would be able to just look at the game and then go, R5 needs this champion exactly. And I feel
Yeah,
like Nutbusters is just always able to do that during draft, which makes
yeah,
it really difficult to play into with them. I think
yeah.
first game we definitely like misexecuted against them, or not even that. Like we just weren't proactive enough on the map to get a lead.
Hmm.
They just kind of outplayed us. And then second game, I think we were actually able to draft really well. I think that was just a draft gap there, but
Yeah,
swapping to the red side for them is just it's so hard because you can't read what their full comp is going to do, so it's really hard to kind of
yeah.
like figure out what you need to do to stop them from meeting their win cons. Um,
Also,
I will
PB in
say
chat saying, pulled out a Lowy. True. Very fire
yes. Okay. No.
champion for sure.
Literally,
Not used
literally
every time.
last week, Blake goes, "Don't pick Alawi. Don't pick Jin. Picks Alawi, loses." Like, you actually cannot make this shit up.
It's crazy, bro.
I don't know. I told the man to wrap up with like last words, and he goes, "Don't pick Alawi. Don't pick Jin," and then proceeds to like not listen to his own advice and then lose a game. So
Kind of amazed.
take that as you will for sure. But no, I think Nutbusters is super good. I want to see a perfect 5-0 at least first half for them. Because now that they've
You think
beaten
they can
my
do
team,
it?
I mean, I of course I have faith.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, I mean, now that they've beaten my team, I don't have to pray on their downfall anymore. So that's good.
That's crazy.
I just want to see the Grim Reaper go down the entire hallway. You know, at least have them
Okay,
get a
okay.
win against every team at least once. You know.
Yeah.
And if they can
I
like
think they can
beat
do.
Spectres again, like that would be extra good.
You think that's their hardest challenge, not MVP coming up?
Oh, I just want to see Spectres lose for the
Damn, bro,
context.
you're really written on my downfall. That's crazy.
Surely,
Surely, surely.
actually, I don't know. That's like I don't know. I feel like y'all are like the villain team, right? So it's like
How are we
the
the villain
take.
team? What do you mean? Is every team I'm on just the villain team? Is this the take?
I mean, I think that's it. And also, I feel like that's just the general sentiment among the captains. I don't know.
Ah, it's because I'm on the team. That's not, dude.
No,
All of my
it's
players. Hold on.
because there are like 14 people who are supposed to be on that team, and no one could create the rest of their teams. Like,
That's crazy, bro. That I had nothing to do with that, for the
right?
record.
Yeah,
But
I'm not saying it's your fault. I
crazy.
don't think you like shit talking everyone and their moms like on this podcast is helping your team's image though.
Yeah, that's my thing. So
But I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it would be cool to see a 5-0, at least from like a team, and then because also like
yeah,
that adds like narrative going into the second half, right? Because can anyone beat the
yeah,
5-0 team who's ending the streak? Like everyone lost to them once, who can kind of like flip the script, which is cool.
yeah. Okay, okay.
All right.
Do we want to switch to Rift Sharks? I think
Yes.
there's like some things to talk about for this too.
Here, I'll let you share your takes, and then okay.
Oh, too. Okay, I'm not
No, no,
gonna
no, no.
lie. I
Wait.
was kind of rooting on your downfall.
I'll
So.
give a little charitable here. We'll do there. We'll do this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? That's base. That's base. The 2-4 week. I like that.
We got
Um,
two
I will
games.
say, yeah, I think both games that they won. I don't know. In my opinion, they didn't look super solid in both games, except for like I think in the Nutbusters game they looked a little more solid
Okay,
than
I
in the one versus
legitimately
Spectres. But
think like the Nutbusters game was just a draft gap, and I actually think we played pretty well. I don't know. Like I don't think
uh,
I think the Spectres game for sure. You could argue that one was rough. Like we barely pulled that one out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Okay,
I
okay,
do
that's
think in
fair.
the Nutbusters game, I think we were pretty
Yeah, yeah,
solid.
yeah. I will say, and also like the game 3 versus Spectres, I think it was like stupidly close for zero reason. But like I think it was a super well played series from Sharks. Still, it was like I think this team is like really close. I think the rosters they've been fielding have been pretty solid, but like it feels like they're kind of lacking a big firepower outside of like Dean, right? Like, if you watch these games, like I think the only player I've ever like seen them pop off with is Dean. Like I think he's gotten all of their MVPs except for like one
That
from
is like
Eric, right?
not remotely correct. I don't think.
Really?
Hold on, let me check. Keep talking. Eric's got one. I got one.
Who
Um,
else got one? I
Zach
can't
got
even
one.
remember.
I got one.
Oh, Zach did get one.
Yeah.
I think I gave
So
that one
out of the
actually,
four,
bro.
I've gotten half. We'll say that.
Okay, that's fair. But it's like I think outside of an outlier game from Zach, I don't think this team has had the firepower that they've needed to like carry out these games. They've looked like a little lost in terms of like gameplay and like outside of like the Spectres game or not the Spectres game, the Nutbusters game that they won. I think they just haven't found an identity that they really like, and I think we'll have to see if they can form one going into the other second half of the season, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
okay.
know.
I will say, looking at our games real quick, I figured out the secret.
Okay.
So every game where I picked a champion that didn't start with the letter K, we lose. But if I pick a
That's
champion
crazy.
that starts with the letter K, we win.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
You know what? You're
you
cooking.
guys just need to go down the list, right? Like Kled, ban him. Karthus, gone.
Okay, okay,
Kha'Zix,
okay.
ban that too. What other
All
K
right.
champions
He's
am I
cooking.
never going to play that you can ban to get rid of? But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, like the Belveth
Just
game,
something.
that was an outlier. I literally like first series versus Andromeda. Please just disregard that. It didn't happen. Like that. That was rough. We were trying some stuff out. Did not go well.
Yeah.
Callista went well. That's a good game. Kaisa also that one went well. Good game. Callista winning again. Nice. Ezreal, is there a K in that? No. But we had a Kale, but we already used the Kale in the previous game, so it kind of like, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
And then Ashe lost. The A. Varus also lost. Kaisa, another win. and then
Yeah.
and then we get a Tristana, and then that's a loss because there's no K. But I mean, I
Wait,
will say, like, go ahead.
has Joel played at all this season?
Yeah. Here, let me check out the
Oh, he's played top. Okay, never mind.
yeah. So, out of our team, I think Drago's played one game. Layla's played two. Michael's played three. Joel's played four. Thomas has played five. Zach's played five. Eric's played six. Healy's played six.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Then I played
maybe if there
nine,
is
and
there a
Jonas
roster
played nine.
variation? Is there a roster variation where Joel and you can play? Because I feel like that might be like
Yeah,
the best one, but it probably has to be him mid lane. Honestly, I feel like him in mid lane has always had more impact than him in top lane. I know we love this poppy pick from Joel, but I feel like the carry potential on his mid laners is like a lot higher, and like
yeah. I
has like a
mean,
lot
we
of
could run what we ran at the end of the Nutbuster series, just instead of Zach mid, we'd have Joel mid. But he wasn't
yeah.
available Sunday, so that wasn't something that we could try out.
Okay, okay.
Uh, we were supposed to have
Same.
our
My
games
goat mid
Thursday and
laner.
Friday, so he rescheduled all of his stuff from Thursday and Friday to Sunday. Bless his
Oh,
heart. And then our game was Sunday, so he can't play.
that's crazy, bro.
Um,
Unlucky king.
but yeah, so that was a bit unfortunate, but I don't know. I think all of our players are pretty solid. I do wish we could have had more Drago, but he's been pretty
Yeah.
busy, unfortunately. So I haven't
Also,
gotten to see that too much.
I will have to drag my goat here. I don't think Thomas has been quite that great in top lane or in. Has he played mid lane at all? He played
Yes.
one mid lane game, right?
Hold on. Let me check. I just removed my filters. Oh, that's season 4. He's not going to show up there. He has played Cho'Gath top, Garen top, Shen top, Lysandra, and Galio mid.
Okay. I will say I don't think those picks are like really solid carry champions, but like he has not been performing very well either. So it's like it's just there's like a lot to relearn because I think he's coming back from like a long break from league. So unfortunate, kind of rusty TM.
I'm not tolerating this Thomas slander. Thomas is a great
I'm
player.
slandering Thomas
Dude, he
anyways, bro.
fucking
I don't want to.
finessed Blake in the top lane, literally solo in the second game. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Calling
Wait, but he was
all of his
still kind of
performance flops is that's hater behavior.
okay. That's true.
Sure, he's
That's
had
true.
some rough games. One is he's playing Cho'Gath, and we accidentally gifted them the greatest R5 Swain pick of all time. You can completely
And
ignore
also,
that
if
one.
Mike sits in his lane for like 3 minutes or like 10 minutes of the game, and just makes it unplayable for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
So
No, that one was rough. And then the Shen game, he didn't even do poorly. That's 1, 2, 3. Like that's not a
yeah,
terrible KDA considering we had what, like 6 kills the whole game. He had like
okay, that's true. I
Giga
guess I'm just
KP.
slandering the
Okay.
two mid lane games
And
because he
then
got fucking a little rolled in
okay,
all three of
just
those
call
within
Sarvis
or two of those.
insane, which is true. Like Sarvis has been playing super well this season.
That's true. I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
some like mid jungle things that you need to work out. I will drag Jonah a little bit too. I think he has like a pretty rocky performance this season compared to last season. I don't think he's found his footing as a jungler recently. So
Yeah, I mean, I literally just think that like I don't know if Thomas and Jonah had gotten to practice together at all going into the
yeah,
Spectre
that's
series.
which is like fair.
And that was like immediately what we talked about afterwards. We were like, hey, that was a little bit rough. And then Thomas is like, yeah, I just wasn't used to playing with our jungler. So I
Yeah,
do think that they worked a lot better in the Nutbuster series. And that's like, what, 2 days apart? We just got some
yeah,
practice. Or I think we got like a practice game in and it's already going a lot better.
yeah. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's obviously tough when you have someone who, has been in talks with the team for a while, but isn't actually able to get his games played and get added to the team until a little bit into the season.
Yeah,
It's kind of a bit of an adjustment period, but I think he's been doing pretty well. I think
yeah,
seeing him in both lanes has been nice, and I think y'all should get excited to see more plays from him. And we'll draft better so he doesn't get absolutely demolished on the Cho'Gath game. But
true.
the Garen and
Actually,
Chen games are actually super solid.
that's
And
true.
I do
I think he's gotten
think
the short end
in
of
the
the
Shen
stick in
game
the
it
past.
was
So
you can blame us for not telling him to Shen ult in places like I don't know.
yeah,
There's some plays
it's
that could
kind
have
of
been
hard.
made. It's just the comps were tough.
Yeah,
Wasn't something we had necessarily worked on too much. And that game's also tough because we didn't really make too many proactive plays because we didn't
yeah.
have
You guys sort of
like
just farmed for
yeah
30 minutes and then got out team fought
right. I mean
like
because
five
they
times in a row.
have Azir, Ashe, Kaisa, Maokai. That's a rough game.
Yeah,
And Kha'Zix scales pretty well too. So
yeah.
it was just kind of rough. But yeah, I mean, I think the Spectre series was definitely more interesting. Getting to see Michael's Kale come back is always fun.
True.
I think Taxi gave me MVP for that game because I was able to kind of carry the early game. But obviously, Michael just late game Kale insurance.
Yeah,
He
it
played
did pay
super
off
well.
because Factors started trolling like 30 minutes into the game, but like
Yeah, I
that's
mean, like the Tryndamere ult's super unfortunate.
yeah.
Um,
Avery had his Archie unbound. It was kind of unlucky, but it does happen to him. So
Right. I mean, it's also like we really pinched the pool there. Like we had
yeah,
we cover banned a lot of things, so it's always tough if you're slotting onto probably not your top counter pick into it. And obviously,
yeah,
like that game was super intense. Like I don't think
yeah,
anyone in that game was not definitely feeling the nerves, at least to a
yeah,
degree.
yeah. And
And
I will say,
obviously,
I think
like you get hit by the Ash ulti, you're bashed to your keyboard. Like you're not thinking, oh, I need to ulti. You're like, I can E to get out, and then you can't E to get out, and then it's kind of tough.
yeah,
So
I will say that I think Savaris is Ari. I think the pick he picked in the last two games. I was there. I was drafting. I should know this.
yes.
It was the Ari. I think both games he had a really stellar performance on the champion. It was getting a lot of picks with the charm, and then in game three, I think he was like sort of the bait to force engages and stuff. I think he just played a really phenomenal series in all three games. So
Yeah, I mean Tarverse is crazy. I think Tarverse is Azarius. Or like as Taxi would say, like serious. Like I don't know. He was kind of going
not
off
the
with
time.
it. No, I like huge props to Taxi for casting 3 games in a row. I just remember someone in Twitch chat was saying like, uh, I forget what it was. It was like more kills this game, or like more different ways that he's gonna pronounce the name, or something goofy like that. I remember
That's
it was a
awesome.
banger, but it was I don't know. It was like I don't know. They're obviously tough names to pronounce, but it got to the point where sometimes I wasn't sure which of the two he was talking about. So that was pretty funny.
That's so
But
funny.
I don't know. I know we don't do like series MVPs officially, but Starburst obviously played super well. But I think the big factor that kind of contributed to them winning that series is Hong coming in on support. and just like the playmaking impact around the map was like ridiculous.
Yeah, he is
Like
like kind of
he
everywhere on the
basically
support
like
pick.
single-handedly flipped around the like Darius Kale matchup, which should not really be winnable for Darius because Kale should just be able to play safe. But he was able to pressure Michael a lot under tower, and it just makes it really difficult for that Kale to ever come online, even
Yeah.
into a matchup where she should be able to.
Mhm.
So I just want to give a shout out to Hong for that. I feel like he played super well. The
I have
map
been dragging him
impact was
recently, so
definitely
we gotta
there.
put him up a little bit, you
Yeah,
know?
like number one Hong hater. All I'm saying is like Rex versus Rift Sharks 0-1, Hong versus Rift Sharks 2-2,
2-0, sure.
or wait 2-1,
Is it
2-1, 2-1.
that?
We're, we're,
Wait,
we're,
no, then Rex is
we're
like,
counting the Lushinami one.
that's okay, you know what? Fair
I,
enough.
I'll take my wins where I can get them.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Um,
No, what?
but
Fair.
yeah, no, Hong played very well there. Caesarius also very good AD carry. Was fun laning against him. Yeah, it was a rough series though. Some of those games are not super enjoyable. I am glad that like that Ash game started terribly for me, so I'm glad that it was kind of like able to brought back to a point where I was able to like get something done. But
Yeah.
that Scion was hilarious. if,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
didn't,
yeah.
if you guys didn't watch that series, like please
Go watch
do.
Game 3. Go watch
It's
Game
up
3
on
if you haven't
YouTube now
watched it before.
already. I'm getting the other two series uploaded tonight. But Taxi, excellent job on the solo cast. So like huge props to him. But yeah, show your support.
The Game 3 is just a fucking emotional roller
Is
coaster
yeah.
the
I mean,
entire time,
same with
bro.
the
Oh
first
my
one.
lord.
Like I don't know.
Yeah,
The second game was a bit, but happens.
yeah,
Honestly, I think you can kind of say the same about our series versus Nutbusters too. I feel like the first game and the last game were, or no, the first game was giga boring. Never mind.
yeah. It was only the third game that was kind of back
Right.
and forth, honestly. So,
Yeah. First game sleep through, but game two and three I feel like are at least a little bit exciting. Brom's
yeah,
a fun pick. I think we can get
yeah.
credit for playing Brom. They
It
haven't
was a really strong pick.
fully implemented the like melee support buffs, so I think we'll get to
Yeah,
see
it
more
could
picks
be
like that
getting.
coming out soon. But
Yeah, I think
thought it
Eric
was
is
cool.
known for like his more melee support pool rather than the enchanters. He can play the enchanters because we've seen him play
Right.
the enchanters. We ran the enchanters multiple times when I was playing on the team. But definitely more known for his carry, like melee engaged champions like the Amumu. Braum had like a really good performance on those kind of champions. So
Blitzcrank?
Blitzcrank, yeah, I
Yeah, I
forgot
mean,
about the
okay,
Blitz.
like, but like literally look at the patch that's about to come out. Like, is this not like number one like Rift
Wait,
Sharks
what is the
patch?
next patch? We could talk about
We're
it.
buffing my Aphelios, we're buffing my Kaisa, and we're buffing just melee supports as a class. Like we are chilling in the bot lane. But Asol is going to be up next week, so that is something that we could talk about if we just want to talk meta. But before we hop into that, I do want to talk about like skill versus synergy because I think some of these teams have a lot of inbuilt synergy, and I think some of them are doing well based off of skill, and then I think there are obviously some teams who are struggling to do either. Could, couldn't be my team. Definitely
True.
not one of the bottom two in the standings. But I think if we want to look at we'll look at all the teams who have won two or more games, or two or more series, eliminating my team unfortunately. But out of Nutbusters, Spectres, Valorant Pirates, and Andromeda, just focusing on their positive performances, where do you think each of their like kind of wins are coming from? Could
Uh,
be skill, synergy, both, or just like kind of give a split of what your thoughts are. And I can just go
I
after
can
you
I
or
can do a
whatever.
breakdown for each team. I think real
All right.
quick. I will say we've talked to death about New York
Yeah,
Nutbusters.
we
I
can
think
just
it's
skip that
more
one.
so the synergy energy or the synergy
Yeah,
like
I'd say probably
vibe
like
from them.
2080.
Yeah, it's definitely like a 2080. I think a lot of them is like just working together super well. Found their synergy really early and is sticking to it. Not to discount their mechanics or
Right.
anything. They've been playing super
I
well
think
individually.
especially shout out to PB. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like macro skill and knowledge. Definitely understands the game a lot. So a lot of skill in that
yeah.
respect. But
And then you just have like a really solid mechanics player in Blake, or like
right.
is willing to like pull out. He says our top laner sucks. So true. Agreed. He's
Yo,
a bit of a weirdo, but like, just like a lot of synergy between these players. So I think definitely deserves more of the synergy bonus from them. More,
yeah,
not to discount their skill though.
yeah.
I
I
will
think
say for Spectres, I think it's more of a skill thing. I
yep,
think a lot of
100%.
these players are like out laning their opponents and happening into wins more so than like synergizing together super well. Not to discount their synergy, I think uh Logan, Cerberus, and Avery play a lot together, and I think it kind of shows like they know what the other like wants to play and like how they want to draft, what champions they're really comfortable on. I think they've all like they like know each other's champions pool super in depth, so it's like it shows a lot in like how we draft and stuff. So, um,
Yeah, I would say for
but I
that
think
team, it's
yeah,
probably 70 skill, 30 synergy.
yeah,
Because you definitely like have like both your laners in the soul lanes are just skill checking their opponents like every single game,
yeah,
which is really fun to watch. And I think depending on your roster, you do have a lot of synergy present. Like if you're doing the like Hong Kathy bot lane and then like Sarvis Avery in the solo lanes, I think you have a lot of synergy there. So the split kind
mhm,
of might flip in the opposite direction, but generally you, especially because it's one of those teams where you're swapping the roster in and out a bunch, it's hard to kind of
yeah,
fully build up on that synergy, and it feels like a lot of their games are just winning because they just outplayed you and now you're kind of behind. So even if you are able to kind of like macro them, it's tough. But I do think that's why we were able to get our win against them in the first game, because I
yeah,
think we just knew how to play to our win cons and like had gotten some practice in and had been in this situation before and were able to
mhm,
just communicate it how we needed to get the game won despite having not really played the
yeah,
early
and
game
I
very
think it.
well and we're in a tough position, right? So
Yeah, I think it also what made Game Three super close is just like a little bit of like the miscommunication aspect and like not knowing how each player wants to play. I will say I do think I have to shout out N a little bit. I think they've been performing pretty well since they swapped from playing like more tanks to like these solo queue chip picks like the Elise, like the Udyr. Like these champions are like high impact, and you've definitely seen
yes,
them like
swapping
impacting the
from
game a
tanks
lot.
to playing Udyr instead of a tank. That's
Wait, Udyr's not a tank, bro. Come on, surely not. I
true.
look at
No
my
tank
last like
should ever
5 builds
do
of
this
this game.
much damage.
Exactly. So true. But like the Udyr, the Elise, I think like just like the way they've been playing is like super good, and I kind of want to gas them up a little bit. They've had like a couple solid Elise performances as well. So, and then when you sub in Rex for like and it's definitely just like try to hard slam the other jungler, and I think it kind of showed it in like the Rek'Sai game and like the Master Yi game. Definitely just like willing to ego the other jungler and just say I'm better than you and like try to fight them constantly. So
I guess asterisk that that game was against Metabusters, but
that's crazy. True, but anyways, and then for Andromeda. Now
damn,
this
we're
team
really
is like
skipping the pirates or like.
I think there's more to talk about with Andromeda than Pirates. I'm not gonna
So just
lie.
get the easy one out of the way then. Like,
Okay, sure, fine. My bad. I think Pirates. I don't know. I don't really have a read on this team. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah,
like
I
that's
mean,
probably why I said
okay,
they're not interesting to me.
my take is
It's like
probably like 90-10, if not completely 100-0. I
yeah,
feel
for
like,
skill,
right, I feel like a lot of their plays where they're doing well, it's not because of like communication in between the players necessarily. Because a lot of the times
heroics
it's
just hard
just, right, it's
slamming
just
top
heroic
lane. I is
slams,
winning
right. And then Aya's had a lot of really good plays, and Valor in the mid lane has done
well.
a lot as well, right? And then obviously they've had a lot of games where Jackson's performed too.
Yeah, really
But
solid on these like low econ
yeah,
junglers like
I
I've talked about.
think the game that I've seen from them that shows like the most like kind of like synergy and strategy, kind of going for them. If I can pull it up, hold on. Would be that their most recent game where they kind of like did the Twitch support and kind of roamed around playing for that. But a lot of the times they'll just draft lanes that like individually just seem pretty good, and they'll
Yeah,
just try to slam them individually and win. Like when we
yeah,
did see that like Jinx and Karthus game, like you have the I don't know, that draft was pretty interesting actually because you have Camille
mhm,
Pantheon Sejuani topside. which is really good
That's
versus
a really
Rani,
solid
right?
top side.
And
Yeah, yeah.
then you slam the Karthus support. It's a
Uh-huh.
because that way you have like
Mitigate your lack
one
of AP.
right. You have
Yeah.
single AP
And
for like
Karthus
a
is like
really
the
good
best
champion
single
to
AP
abuse
in the
that.
game, honestly. But
Brand would be the other one that I'd point out.
yeah, but I think Karthus is actually better than Brand just because if there's no one building MR, your ulti just rips through enemy teams for free.
Yep.
So
Yes. But yeah, I think that's decent. But again, I don't think there was necessarily as much like synergy going on there. I don't
yeah,
remember that game super duper closely, so I don't know how well they were playing around like Pantheon and Karthus ultis. But a lot of
yeah,
the games where we've seen them do well, it's just really standout performances for individual laners.
yeah,
I say that includes jungle support, whatever. Like
yeah,
not just talking about heroic here, although
yeah.
would
And it's
definitely
not
be
just
in
like
our rights
performing.
to do so. I also completely lied. The Master Yi and Rek'Sai games are not into Meta Busters; they're into Valorant Pirates. I don't know why I said
I
that.
was
It's
about to
just
say like I don't know what you're talking about, but sure, man.
oh, so Spectres
Uh
have not played the Meta Busters yet.
oh, they haven't, bro.
Wait,
Oh wait, we
really?
haven't. Yeah, you're right. That's funny.
Oh, I thought they did. Okay, I'm like really trolling them. Sorry, this is
We're both trolling.
not
Scott's
been my
podcast.
week. Okay, so Spectres is probably going to end up 4-1. So this is going to be a tough. But I guess Metabusters or Nutbusters only needs to win one game to clinch first after the first round robin. Then
Yeah,
because they already have the tiebreaker going into Spectres,
yeah,
unless they lose their one game to Valor and Pirates, and then Valor and Pirates beats Rift Sharks, which might be easier
yeah.
because I might not be able to play in that game. But oops. We'll
That's
see.
crazy.
It literally just depends on scheduling because I'm going to be in a different state for the next 2.5 weeks. So sorry, guys. Might not be a State of Scrims podcast for a bit.
Uh,
Apologies. I think we're going to take a break for about two. It might honestly have to be 3 weeks. We might do something a little scuffed in the middle, but
yeah.
depending on where I am and if I have access to a computer or not, I will play. But
Okay.
we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we could just predict how many games are left.
Do you want to just?
Four.
There's.
Yeah, we can just call all four at the end.
Okay.
What
All right.
else did we not look meta real quick?
I wanted to finish talking about Andromeda
Oh
and
shit!
like
Did I
reflect
just
the
brain
meta
for it?
busters for the
Sorry,
synergy
I
stuff.
got
No, you're
sidetracked.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the meta is that interesting, or it's like not shifting that much. Like maybe tank
Right.
supports
I mean,
become a little bit
Annie's
stronger.
cool. Annie's cool, and Asol I think will
Yeah,
definitely like Asol feels really strong, so I think we'll
yeah.
probably
Asol
see
will probably
some of
make a
him.
couple appearances. We'll have to
I
see
know
though.
Stanley's been practicing a bunch of it. I think.
I think Stanley's played it. I know for sure Taxi's probably played
Right.
it.
I
So
feel like any team would be dumb to not have played it a little bit, but
yeah. But yeah, I think Andromeda is like a okay. To segue back to the thing I was talking about earlier, Andromeda is such an interesting team to me. Um, like I want to say that they're playing better than their opponents, like, but I think this is another like synergy team. Like the way they're drafting is like almost exclusively to try to set up Cam as their jungler and like maybe another lane if they have the chance. But it's like drafting champions like Gallia. These are like almost exclusively synergy champions where you're trying to like pair with like a really strong jungler. Things like the Zillion Hecarim combo, which is like super good. And then, but on the flip side, they also just were willing to like hard lock an Akshan into a GP and just like hard force like a top lane matchup that they're comfortable in. So it's like they're willing to play for more synergy and they're also willing to play for like the hard ego, I am a better laner than you kind of thing. It also has helped that Adam has put in like a substantial amount of games recently. I
yeah,
think
it's
is
been
the
like
word
what,
on the
like
street.
50 in the past like week or so, something ridiculous.
Yeah, he's put in a lot of games, and it's definitely showing in that series versus Meta Busters, like hard gapping Hadiri in the top side. Um, I think like them flexing around Alana has netted them a couple of wins as well. Like the Twitch support did put in a lot of work in Adam's hands, and it's just like
Yep.
kind of hard to tell where the strength is on this team, in my opinion. So that's why I think it's like kind of interesting. Like Stanley's had a couple good games. Like everyone's really just had a couple good games, but like I'm not quite sure if it's like just because of how they draft, or it's like they're laning better than their opponents? Because I don't think it's really either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Andromeda, in my opinion, I think a lot of it is synergy because I think they know how to play around their draft really well because they know their teammates like champion pools and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and even like Cam looks really good in a lot of the games where he gets really far ahead, but I think a lot of it is just knowing how to gank his teammates' laners.
Yeah.
So like having that like synergy and built with your like jungle mid, jungle top, and then jungle and the bot lane together is really helpful because you're able to like kind of gank the lane and they just know how to set up ganks for you, which
Yeah.
is super helpful. And I do
So
think
they.
like having the flex potential and stuff is also just knowing how your
Yeah.
teammates work and being able to figure that out. So I think so the synergy is a very good start there, but I do think, especially with Adam putting more games in, I think generally when people do that, it inspires their teammates to also do that. So we could see a level up in skill
Yeah.
throughout the season, but I do think skill is harder to improve over like a how much time do we have left? Like 2 months span than synergy. I think synergy is something that you could easily figure out, especially because you're like literally being forced to play games that's a 5 stack
Mhm.
for your like official matches, right? So that's naturally just gonna get your synergy better, and especially if you're able to kind of like do practice games and stuff, that helps as well. Skill, I think, is hard to develop on such a short time frame, though.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of for people to level up throughout a season, but
Hmm.
that's definitely on a more individual level than like a whole team kind of increases in skill. That would be interesting. Like if that happens, I would be happy about it because I think it'd be really cool. But I just don't think that's like a realistic scenario that happens where somehow everyone on the team all just gets better hands in like a short time period.
Yeah. So what we say Andromeda is just budget, not busters right now. Thoughts?
Uh, no, because I think they work in a very different way.
Okay.
Because like Nutbusters, I feel like has the synergy of like knowing how to like draft and play comps and stuff, whereas I
Yeah.
feel like Andromeda's is more like a Metabusters fused with Nutbusters. I feel like they play super unconventionally and they know how
Yeah.
to do that because they know how their players work together.
Yeah.
And I do think that like the individual like standout, at least in terms of like mechanics on Andromeda, are stronger than Nutbusters.
Yeah.
Just because like I mean I know Dave like used to be like a Katarina one trick and played a crap ton of Kiana, right? So the hands there
Yeah.
are like insane.
Hmm.
Like no shade on Mike, but like Rengar is not super mechanically intense anymore.
Oh, he's about to fight you, bro. He's about to
He
fight
used to
you.
be harder for sure, but
That's
I
crazy.
feel
Okay.
like
Yeah.
but I don't know. I also know that like Dave was like mid to high plat as a Katarina one trick. So I think that is like super impressive, right? And that gives you like even if you're not playing champions like that anymore, I still think that gives you like the hands to play pretty much anything you want to. And of course I say that and now he's playing like Galio and Alistar all game. So like it doesn't matter. But I just think like I don't know, that means something. And also like top lane champions are very mechanical and Adam kind of
Yeah.
plays all of those. So that's something to look at. And like
VV said, Mike's gonna ulti to you, bro. Like,
yeah. I
for
mean
saying Rengar is the skillless champion. That's
I didn't say
crazy.
he's skillless. I said he's less mechanically intense than Katarina and Kiana. I also I
I
also
kind of disagree with that, but yeah.
like new
I
Rengar.
think being useful in team fights as a Rengar is like way harder than anything Katarina could like. Like, I
But
mean,
that's
sure,
not like
dagger placement matters
mechanic
like a little.
skill as much as
Yeah,
it
it is.
is like
Like knowing micro on Rengar is like kind of important. Like watching which empowered ability is about to come up, like sequencing your abilities correctly, like
I guess.
knowing which when you want to use your double W, like double E, like these things matter so much more than like Katarina's mechanics IMO. Like Katarina mechanics is just take a dagger at the right time and press the spinny button when you see them use like 5cc abilities. Like
Okay, guys, I'm speaking to a jungler as my co-host. I think
that's crazy, bro. Like there's an
this
argument
man
for
has
like
never
playing.
grinded out a mid lane assassin in his life.
Dude, I've grinded out multiple. I've played Talon, bro. What do you
Dude,
mean?
Talon is fucking like Talon is the easiest one, except
That's
for
crazy,
maybe
bro.
Fizz.
I've
Like,
played Kiana. What do you mean? That's crazy, bro.
you think Rengar is easier than Kiana?
No, but I'm
Okay,
saying Rengar is easier than Cat by far.
okay. Well, I did say Katarina and
Or
Kiana,
harder.
like collectively. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not
I
shading Mike. I think Mike's a really good player. I just think
yeah, yeah.
like I don't know. I think Dave has showed more performances where just the ability to
Mechanics are.
press
Yeah,
keys and shit like
yeah. No, I agree
right.
with that. I just disagree with your point that Rengar is a mechanically some or like less mechanically intensive than some of these champions. That's
I mean,
really
I
it,
was
bro.
grouping Katarina and Kiana together. Like it's a I don't know. I have
Yeah,
I have more experience on the Kiana, so I'm more familiar with that one. Katarina, I haven't really played, but
yeah.
I don't know. I assumed
Um,
that they were similar, and I feel like people tout Katarina as very difficult, so I was just going with that. But
yeah.
anyway, all
I don't
right,
know.
we have like 5 minutes left, so we can do predicts.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about Rift Shark Synergy or Meta Busters? I
I
don't
said
think those are
said we're
very
only
interesting.
talking about teams who have had 2 or more series wins, so
Yeah, that's fair.
oh yeah. Also, as I was saying about Adam, very good. Plays a lot of top lane champions, so has a lot of outplay
Yeah.
potential. Similar to Heroic. I think Heroic is definitely better, but have
Yeah.
please tell me those teams haven't played against each other, so we get to watch that.
They have, I think. Vesvile and Pirates won, so
Oh, was that the series where they like Adam like didn't play top though?
yeah.
That's
No,
what.
he played the Gragas into Camille and got bodied.
Oh yeah, you don't win that one. Um, okay, okay. I'd like to see them play where it's not Gragas Camille. I'd like to see a different match between those two players, but
Yeah.
I
I
guess
would
I'm
like
gonna
to
have
see
to
the
wait
more.
till the
I would
second
have
half for
preferred like
that.
the. I think I would have preferred like the Jax Camille matchup or like a more aggressive like
Yeah.
matchup than
Hold on.
Gragas.
Let me get my Chrome up.
Hold on, let me ping Mike. Tell him I defended your Rengar champion. Don't worry.
So true. Okay. Hopefully this is cropped better. I know someone complained about it previously, but all right, we have what, 4 remaining games to predict. New York Nutbusters versus Mass Valor and Pirates. We have 3 minutes total, so let's try and be quick. Um, I think Nutbusters is gonna win.
You really? Okay.
Would say Valor and Pirates takes a game off them,
2-1.
but I
Oh,
don't want it.
wow. We're playing it safe.
I'm gonna say a 2-0.
Okay.
I think Blake cannot bleed into heroic, and I think Taxi is definitely good enough to, if not just outright gap Valor, at least play even.
Yeah.
And I think Spectres at least showed that their bot lane can box with, like, not against each other. Or I think if you sample Frostbite, I think directly, I think Spectre's bot lane was better than Valorant Pirates, and I think if
Yeah.
that was Nutbuster's concern against us, I think Nutbusters should be able to get the 2-0.
Okay. I will say I think it's gonna be a 2-1 Nutbusters. I think the way Mike plays jungle kinda can get out like it's a bit of more feast or famine compared to the way Jackson has been playing. I think he's just gotten more feasts than he has famines. So it's like but like the champions that Jackson has been playing, like I'll sit here and like roll my eyes at the Sejuani, but it's like, yeah, these champions are like really consistent. You do the same thing on them all the time. Like, press R, pair up with your top laner who's melee, get the free stuns. Like, I think there is like a lot of potential for them to like, uh, at least like scrape a game off them. Essentially,
Wait,
I
we
will
have
say I think
time.
I think Mass Valor and Pirates Spotland does get gaffed. So, yeah, 2-1
We have
Nutbusters.
3 minutes for 4 games, and you just spent 2 minutes on the first game.
No, don't worry. We'll go fast.
Spectres
Go.
2-0 Metabusters, easy.
Yeah. Same thing.
Rift Sharks 2-0 MVP. I'm saying realistically, I think it's 2-1 Valorant Pirates.
I'm saying 2-0 Valorant Pirates.
Okay. With me playing or without me playing?
Uh, either way,
Interesting.
I don't think it matters.
Interesting take. And then Nutbusters versus Andromeda.
Ooh, that's kind of hard. I'll say
I
2-1 Nutbusters.
I want to say the same thing, but only because my reasoning for Nutbusters 2.0 Mass Valorant parts is because I think it's really easy for them to draft around it because they have a very set playstyle.
Yeah,
I think Blake's draft knowledge is very good, but it's going to be tough to draft against Andromeda because that is the draft
yeah.
Enigma team. Because
The draft is
Metabusters, you know they're going to
true.
troll, whereas Andromeda, it's like they're in the weird line where they're picking weird shit, but it's like super
They know
like
how to play the game.
specific, right? Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
detailed. So they're not going off meta just for
agreed.
the sake of it. Okay, we have 15 seconds. What do you want to say for them to enjoy the next
Spectre's
month?
#1. Rift Sharks is gapped without me. Anyways,
What about Nutbusters, bro?
Nutbusters is #1. Like, there's nothing to say about Nutbusters.
Good one. All right, see ya.